Okay, y'all, we finally made it to Miami. Today was hectic. It was crazy today. Nothing to do with my surgery center. My surgery center went great, but everything else in Miami was just hectic. So we first landed at 9 a.m. Then it took a long time for them to even let us off the plane because apparently another plane was in our, spot where they drop us off. So they had us sitting on the plane after we already landed in Miami for like a half an hour. So then my sister-in-law, she had flew to a different airport, so she ended up going to the hotel before me. Now I'm thinking, okay, cool, let's go down, we're gonna get our rental, but also Miami airport is way different than Philadelphia airport. So when we had went downstairs, they told us, okay, walk to the shuttle stop, we gotta hop on a shuttle to get to the rental facility where all the rental cars is. So then we hop on the shuttle, which was a long line. I'm thinking, okay, it's gonna be like a few stops. Like, no, that shuttle was driving for a while. So I'm like, how come their rental centers aren't like exactly where their airport is? So that was weird to me. But anyway, we got to the rental center. Then the rental that I had booked through was a third party. So that company wasn't there. So I'm like, okay, so where do I have to go? And a bus driver told us that if your rental company is not a part of this facility, stand at stop number 7 and it takes you to the other rental centers. So I'm like, this is too much. Like, I've never seen nothing like this in my life, ever. So basically, we stand at stop number 7. I'm waiting for, my rental company name to come up. It's not coming up. I call customer service. I'm like, listen, I don't even see the rental company name on stop number 7 sign. So where do we go? He was like, oh, the cars constantly keep coming around and they take you and they shuttle basically and drive you to the center. And once you get to the center, you can pick up your car. I'm like, okay, well, what's the name on the car? Because each car that came up was from different rental companies and the name for my company was not popping up. So I'm like, okay, so where is the car? It's not popping up. He was like, oh, it'll say Optimo. It'll say Optimo on the car. So I'm like, I don't see a car that says Optimo on the car at all. He was like, it should be a big sticker on the side of a white van that says Optimo. I said, sir, I don't see no car that says Optimo on the side. So at this point, like, we're having a yelling match because I'm getting irritated. My pre-op appointment was at 11 a.m. It was 10:40 at this time, and I'm like 30 minutes away from my surgery location. I'm like, there's no way that I'm going to make it to my pre-op appointment. So now I'm freaking out. The guy calls me and he's like, oh, it'll say Netcar, Optimo. It's the same thing. That's not what you told me. So the whole time the right van was driving past us and we was just standing there looking for a different van with a different name. Irritated. So then I hung up, we get in there, we go to the rental center. At this point, I called my surgery place. They told me, okay, as long as you can get here before 12 o'clock, it's okay. Okay, like I said, 11 o'clock came. I'm still in line waiting for a rental. Called my surgeon back, and they were like, oh, calm down, it's okay. Like, we'll just push your pre-op back until before 2 o'clock, but you have to be here before 2 o'clock because that's when the center closed. So I'm like, okay, cool. Then my fiance drives me straight to my surgery center. Once I get to the surgery center, they welcome me. First thing, the surgery center is in a mall plaza. So that was the first thing that I heard a lot of people saying before I even decided to go there. But when you go inside, that place is huge and it was clean, like spotless, white floors. You don't see no scuff marks. It's cold because of course it's surgery. They want to keep bacteria out. Like, the customer service is A1. As soon as I got in there, they took me straight back, had me sign. They had me pay for. First thing I paid for was my Cell Saver. A Cell Saver is basically a machine that cleans your blood as you're getting your surgery or BBL, lipo, and then it pumps the blood back into your body. so you don't need a blood transfusion. So basically, after I paid for my Cell Saver, I also had paid for my nicotine test, and they have you do a P test for nicotine, of course, which I test negative for, and then they also have you take a pregnancy test, of course, which I test negative for because I ain't having no more kids. So then after that, they took me straight to the back, and she was like, we're going to do your vitals. She did my vitals. I currently weigh 155, and I'm 5'1". They rounded up to. So she was like, oh, you're great. Your BMI is, below 32. It's a 29.3. So Granny's going to love that. So in my first video, I kind of explained the whole BMI situation, like why I was working out, why you need to get your body healthy before surgery, because you cannot just go in here, unhealthy and overweight and think that they're just going to take you. It doesn't work like that. So after that, they had me stripped down from head to toe, and this is what they do all day long, so I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. They have you pose in different directions, going in a 360 circle, and then they take your pictures. Then after they take your pictures, they send them over to your surgeon, also upload them to your portal. So my portal is already paid off. It has to be paid off 2 weeks before your surgery. Surgery costs. My surgery, everybody wants to know how much my surgery costs. I'm going to break this down to you. You gotta wait after I tell you about the rest of my pre-op appointment. So after she took my pictures, basically she took me to the nurse. The nurse had looked at my vitals. She made me fill out all this paperwork, which was a big contract, letting you know, you're putting yourself at risk. This is your decision. This is how much you're paying for this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Sign all the paperwork I needed to sign. One of the coordinators or workers there who took my picture, she told me my foundation is great because I already have weight to me that when they take that weight from the right places and put it to other places, it's going to be amazing. She was like, oh my God, you're going to look so good, because Garani loves when the people follow directions and do what they're supposed to do, and then they come in with a great foundation. So I was excited about that. So all the ladies in there, they were telling me good luck on Monday as they left, because some people were getting off of work. They're really friendly. I love that. It was just such a positive energy. It was no side looks, nothing, none of that. It was great. So my pre-op experience was awesome. The girl who had me, I forget her name, but when I tell you, she was on it. Every little thing. She was like, okay, we finished your photos. She came back and got me. She took me to the next person. Okay, you're going to talk to this nurse. As soon as that nurse was done, I turned around, she was right there. Okay, come on. It was great customer service. So that was awesome. And I love that, even though my whole situation with this morning was crazy, that they were still able to accommodate me, because I do hear about people getting their surgeries canceled, but I don't know if they're even calling to let them know that they're running late or what. So that's my situation. After that, my fiance and my sister-in-law, he had picked up my sister-in-law from the hotel, came back here, came back to the surgery center to pick me up. They asked me how it went. I explained. It was great. They also gave me 2 free lipofoams. They told me that you're required to have 4, which of course I already pre-bought lipofoams, extra compression socks, extra everything, so that I can swap and change my stuff. I should be getting my BBL pillow and my